Hey everyone, this is Brian, and I'm here to welcome you to the Vocation Cohort. We're excited for you to get a chance to learn more about your job, your vocation, and how it applies to your everyday life and your faith. And most of the time, what you do when you're a Christian is you spend a lot of time working, and while you're working, you often wonder, how does my faith relate to this at all? There are ways in which it can be very difficult for a Christian to understand how their work relates to their faith, and vice versa. There are plenty of ideas out there as to how it all goes down. Some people think that work is mainly just about finding a way to evangelize more people. Other people think that work is essentially a way to make money so you can live and have extra money to give for the purposes of ministry. But this cohort is a place you can learn and discuss a more robust and rich and I think gratifying way of understanding the relationship between faith and work and between your work and your faith. When we talk about work, what we're talking about is typically your job. It's really anything you spend most of your emotional, physical, and mental energy on during the week. And what we want to do in this cohort is take time to really explore what it means for your faith to impact that thing you spend the majority of your time and energy on. And here's how we'll do it. We'll take 3 sessions, and in each one, look at one angle of work that Scripture gives us. We'll start with the purpose of work. What's the point of it? Why was it made? How can it be a blessing to you and to the world in its original intention? We'll move on from there to the problems with work. Why can work be so difficult? What's the cause of that? And how do we navigate it as Christians? And finally, we'll look at being a Christian at work. What does it mean to be a Christian in the workplace, in the midst of whatever you do and spend your emotional and mental energy and physical energy on day to day and week to week? And in each one of these sessions, we'll have resources that are provided for you. They'll help you learn, think, and grow ideally in preparation for a discussion that we'll all have together for each session. So for this first session, we'll give you a couple you read and a couple you listen to. That'll be the same throughout the rest of the sessions as well. But these will each have an order, and we'll also give you reflection questions for you to work through so you can get as much out of them as you can. And when we come together to discuss them, we'll be able to help each other learn more, grow more, and process through these things more and more so they work their way out into our daily lives. Now, for this first session on the purpose of work, we're going to start with a video from Scott Ray. Now, this is going to be an introduction, a kind of way of orienting yourself to the conversation about faith and work. It'll get rid of some myths along the way and get you primed for the other resources ahead and for the cohort as a whole. Now, after that, you're going to listen to a sermon from Tim Mackey. Some of you know him from the Bible Project. Now, he has a sermon called The Story of Work that's going to get you close to the text of Genesis. And by getting close to the text of Genesis, we'll be able to see the original intention of work from God's perspective as he reveals it to us in the pages of Scripture. As you get closer to understanding how that text reflects on the purpose of work and therefore the purpose of your job, you'll have a better sense of how the Bible speaks into the purpose of work as a whole. From there, we'll read 2 short chapters from Tim Keller's book called Every Good Endeavor. And what that will do is take what you learned from the text of Genesis and apply it in a more modern way, seeing how the lessons from the text of Genesis 1 and 2 touch down in the experiences we have in work today. Keller's very good at that, and that will really help what Mackey showed us take root and shape in our own lives and thoughts. And then finally, we'll read a few short pages from a man named Gene Veith, and he's writing on how God uses your work to bless others. One specific lesson about the purpose of work will be how we see how our work has a role in how God provides and cares for others in the world. And so taking all we've learned from the first 3 resources, this last one will focus our thoughts and show you, ideally, how you can see your work contributing to the good of others and to the world as a whole. And then we'll get together, having read all those resources and reflected through the questions, to discuss them as a group, learn more, and hopefully find ourselves in a better position to apply our faith to our work and see how our work is a part of our faith.